Okay, great. Okay, go ahead.
He talks about the voice in your head, our thoughts, and how, you can have a perception, like you could perceive that, like, wow, my bum is tired. I've been sitting here for a long time. You could perceive that, but then your mind might start complaining about it. And it's that chatter of thinking that represents really kind of, it almost like the thinking becomes you. It's like an entity. And that when you begin to observe it, and
Hmm.
if you observe yourself thinking, you begin to embrace transcendence, and
Hmm.
that the most dangerous thing is to be trapped in a life where there's no transcendence.
Yeah.
And that whatever is transcendent, it's not about thinking. It's
Mm-mm.
about something that is much deeper than that. But we need words to connect with people, and the words point to the transcendence. But
Mm.
the words are not the transcendence.
Ooh, okay. So you have to go a little bit more explicit what you mean by that.
Well, to me, it boils down to, if you have a line and you have above the line is where we're conscious and we're relating to things that we can observe and we can say this is real. And then below the line are a lot of things that are more subconscious.
Yeah.
And so we could say right brain, and that in the realm of it's kind of opposite of aim high. It's a deeper, to be in a deeper perceptive reality. Somewhere, I believe the transcendence resides in the part of Carolyn who is in full awareness, is fully awake, and is fully present,
Hmm.
but that is not trapped in the analysis of the situation and trying to put everything into a category or a box. And so when you're presenting as a speaker, you want to present from that deeper presence where
Yes.
you're almost talking without thinking.
Organically, naturally.
Yeah, and pointing people towards this transcendent reality. I mean, what if all there is love, and that everything else was just chatter that just blew downstream and there was no record?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
But then you have to couple that with, you have to know your truth. And when you show up and authentically speak your truth with compassion, love, and respect, then transcendence can happen. So I'm not exactly sure how it works, but
Yes, yes, you got a good taste there. You took a good bite out of that. And I think this is the fascination with being a human being too. I do. And energetically, I feel so different when I'm in those two places that you represented. And it has nothing to do with what I look like, with nothing, nothing. It's like an organic energy that is evoking from that place. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I just love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So how can I serve you today?
um, well, first, I'd like to just hear a couple of minutes about what happened in Las Vegas.
Oh. it was incredibly powerful in regards to clearly what I do not want.
What better place than Las Vegas for that, right?
Mhm, mhm. So the conference had such a expansive as well as subtle ego everywhere, absolutely
Hmm.
everywhere.
Hmm.
Every single speaker on the stage. There was billionaires, there was multimillionaires on the stage. This guy that runs it, it's like I was there as a witness, like you said, observing what a dramatic ego is and how debilitating and dangerous it is to function from that place. I I would go back to my room and go, holy shit. I did not know I was coming into this. And I was there for a week. So I showed up every day. I took some notes, not much in regards to what I hadn't heard before. A couple people were okay. The speakers, what a disappointment.
Hmm.
I went there as a nourishing experience and a learning experience. And the person who invited me to go there, she is into this whole vortex of ego like a crazy person. And I'd observe her, what she was doing and what happened and what she did. And I was like, wow, this whole story that she built for me to go there had no foundation at all. It was, it wasn't that it was a lie because she believes it.
Hmm.
Uh, so it was such an education to me, and it has fueled this even deeper purpose and passion for people to not get taken advantage of.
Hmm.
Because I saw people running to the back of the room to spend 15,000 US dollars on an illusion and a story that I knew was not the truth.
Hmm.
And when I ran the Grand Connection, I hear stories of people that had, mortgaged their house, John,
Mm.
for $20,000, for $30,000, and received nothing except their entire self-worth down the toilet and their marriage in shambles. It was either a man or a woman, their wife or their husband wanted to just, it's this
It's a cult
illusion.
kind of a thing, yeah.
Well, it is. And all these people are like worshiping this Bill Walsh guy. Oh, it's Bill. And I'm like, so he was all nicey to me and chatting with me and being present with me. And I could see exactly what he was doing. I could feel, because I'm an extreme empath. I know what people feel like and I know what they're doing. And when I said no about, he wanted me to buy into this $15,000 US speakers opportunity. But I happen to know some of the empty promises behind that
Hmm.
my friend told me about. I said, no, thank you for asking, but no, I'm here to experience, to learn. But after the sixth no, I was basically dust. I'm not kidding. So I said, okay.
Yeah, well,
So it's just it's a fact. I'll just tell you. I'm just looking at this not emotionally at all because I didn't, but it was a huge learning experience for me, John. I'm going to do more research before I make those decisions and
mhm.
research the people, watch their YouTube videos, see if I get a vibe with them. I just went by what my strategic alliance that I did the retreat with, what she told me about this. And I see pictures of her on LinkedIn and Instagram and on all these stages with these billionaires. The only thing it was like a panel discussion where they asked the same questions for every panel and just had the people that have spent, $80,000, $100,000 with this guy, they got to go on the stage. So I did go on the stage and do a presentation because I said, give me an opportunity, just let me know. So I did.
Mm.
And I had people connect with me after and said, wow, I just got so much from what you said. I said, thank you. I really felt what you said and I
Mhm.
resonated with it. So there's a few people I've met that I'm following up with too.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
that's the win.
Good.
So my new rule
Okay.
for 2026,
Yeah.
I'm not doing any more conferences unless it is completely in alignment with
Yeah.
authenticity, contribution, being genuinely contributing to people's lives, not this whole twisted. I mean, so yeah, that's what I got. It's all right.
Good. Well, um, so I would I'd like to take some time to just tell you about where I feel like I'm going. I haven't done like my planning for 2026 yet, but I will tell you that the last yeah the from Thanksgiving to Christmas for me was pretty much getting pulled out to sea in my family.
Yep,
And I love my family and everything's
of
going
course,
great.
of course.
Um, and so this program, MPN, working with you, is really a lifesaver for me because it's hard for me to claim my space. And I'm a good caregiver, and my wife's making a lot of money and she needs a lot of help. So
Great.
so but I think that nonetheless, I resolved about 5 days ago to really get on it on my checklist, and it really has been wonderful. Like I feel like so like it's like a spiritual practice
It is.
that Google
It is.
Doc.
Mhm.
So that's been really great. And then like today is a John Scott speech day. Yesterday was the law firm day, and today I'm working on my stuff. And
Great.
I really did get started. Like I started working at 5, or like, I started working early, kind of thinking about Carolyn's morning routines. I
Yep.
was like,
Yep.
I want to, so that feels really great. I had a lot of interactions with Lisa, the
Yes.
public speaking coach that I've
Yes.
told you about.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we were supposed to she invited me to go do a corporate training at SAP. I
What's
got
SAP?
sick, and it's a big software company.
Okay.
So we were going to be training like 70 people in this corporate space,
Fabulous.
2 full days. I got sick 2 days before. And after talking to a couple people, I decided that I needed to be honest with Lisa about it. And then we went back and forth. We probably talked like the conference was happening on Wednesday. We probably had 6 conversations on Tuesday. Oh yeah, you can still do it. Well, what about this? And da 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 and da 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 da. And then finally it was like, okay, let's go for it. And then I was like, at 6, I was like, where's the address? And then she was like, I think you should stay home. So, so then it was like, okay, I'm kind of relieved. Because we haven't
You're
really,
kind of ramping yourself up to go do it. I'm trying to picture how I'd feel going through that journey, right? And you're back and forth. So did she respect that you're sick, or did she say that, yes, you can do this? I'm curious about that part.
no, I mean, I think she was respectful,
Okay, good.
but I think she's recovering from back surgery and she's
Mm,
very successful person, but
yes.
she also has a, a background of some childhood trauma. So I think that she's kind of like trying to do what's right,
Yes,
basically.
yes, 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 yes.
And she's also coming off of a big back surgery. So I just was like, I just was going to flow with it, and I was kind of relieved that I didn't have to do it. But that's kind of like my life has been a little bit like that, with
Mm,
just starting something, or then it doesn't go, or I think I'm going to
right.
do this and then I can't do it. But today was like a really great day. So I really, I feel like the other thing that happened very powerful was that video you sent me from Roger Love.
Yes.
Like he totally had my number. And
I
so
know. I mean, I watched the thing and I went, oh my God, this is this is
this is a
this is
direct hit on
done.
John Scott. Yeah. This is and the same voice technique. Like he worked with Seth Riggs in the 80s and then he split. And then I came in with the 90s, and there was another main guy with Seth at that time named Dave Stroud. And Dave was the guy who kind of discovered me and flew me down to LA, and all this stuff happened. But he's still using, even though it's the Roger Love method, he's using verbatim the same words that Seth Riggs used. It's exactly the same. And a lot of people have co-opted Seth Riggs' method. But it's a singing technique. And so he's now saying, well, your voice needs to have these certain frequencies in order for you to have influence. And it happens to be the exact alignment with what Seth Riggs taught, which is that we all have a break between chest and head voice. Ah, and that's something that Seth used incredibly well to mass market his teaching style, because everybody has a break in their voice and everybody feels ashamed if their voice
That's
breaks.
right. And yeah, and then they get insecure because of that.
Exactly. But you don't need to sing into your head voice in order to speak publicly.
No.
Like he's kind of making this whole argument that you have to have these certain
The same as the
frequencies.
singing versus the speaking. He's trying to say that that is an important piece, but it isn't.
Right. But nonetheless, if you've got Tony Robbins and Brendan Bouchard and all of the top level speakers in your testimonial basket,
See what I
then you
did?
can do it. And he is helping people. And it was interesting. So anyway, I bought his course,
You
and I watched.
did.
Oh yeah, I watched everything, and it's
Okay.
and it's a good course. He put a lot of information out there. It's a For a beginner. It's a good course. Whatever you can do from watching a video and learning to speak, that's something that I learned the hard way, because I developed my first online singing program, which was a series of videos, in 2008. And I did my
Wow.
second in 2010, and I did a third in 2014. And I decided that video series don't help people sing better. You only get better at working with somebody in person.
Agreed.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess nonetheless, it really influenced me, the way that he spoke about confidence and the way that
Agreed.
he spoke about melody, because I do believe in melody, and I do believe that is the heart of, when I talk again about, okay, you can have just mental chatter or deeper heart level communication
Resonant.
where people are moved by emotion,
Mm.
that is a melodic reality.
And that is information that pays, John.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Um,
That's beautiful. I can actually feel that, what you just said.
wow.
Ah,
Yeah,
mm,
so I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this above and below analogy so much, but I do believe that we have to unshackle ourselves from a life that does not have a transcendent component to
hallelujah. Yes. 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 And nobody even knows they got that ball and chain around their frickin' ankles. Or,
it.
or that those suitcases they're carrying that are 500 pounds. They don't even know it.
That's right, because the thinking part of ourselves and this voice in our head, until we become aware of it, it becomes us. We are an entity that is our complaints. It is our judgments, or our fears. So he does a great job of talking about melody, and he has some really good ideas about melody too. Very different ideas than I have had about, particularly like when the voice goes up and when it goes down. It's a really interesting thing, and he does a lot of work with that. And he plays people's voice like a piano. So he's talking about, and so I can actually envision myself here. Let me show you something.
Okay.
First of all, this is what a wreck my studio is.
Love it. I love it.
Today,
Great.
I set up, which we are probably going to think is evil. I set up a teleprompter
Perfect.
with my video camera because
Beautiful.
I want to just be able to rattle off a lot of
Well,
stuff.
it's a
And
backup. It's your backup.
yeah, so anyway, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm when I am going to be later on working with my client,
Yes.
who's a singing coach, a singing client. I just work with my piano, and then I show
Ooh.
up like this.
Ooh.
It's a little bit
And you're gonna have fun doing this. I know what you're gonna do.
and
You're gonna have fun. And that's what's
it's gonna
fun,
be it's gonna
fun,
be different. And
fun.
whoa, sorry.
What was that? I think my energy came through the screen, through your screen there, John.
Yeah,
When
it
I
was a
was saying
music.
fun, fun, fun. And it's like, oh, okay. Yep, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
I have one of those things.
yeah. So when I'm working with people, I will just play the piano and actually play melodies that help you unlock the dynamic range of your voice, because
Oh,
most people only live within a
this box.
minuscule percentage of their dynamic possibility. And that when you
Okay, I'm gonna pause again. So when we can look at this transcript, what you just said was priceless. People only work within, say it again.
people live within a very narrow bandwidth of their dynamic potential of their voice. And that dynamic potential relates to their full life potential.
Yes. All connected.
Yeah.
When you
And
change one thing,
also
everything
this
changes.
melody that comes through your voice is perceived first by your brain. your brain deciphers the melody first, and then it goes to the cerebral cortex to determine what words were said.
Okay.
So the melody is more important than the
Is
content of
it's
your words.
intentional too, isn't it?
What
Or is it automatic?
melody?
Yes.
Well, I think you can be intentional about melody. A lot of people are not. It becomes something that you have to go through the three phases with. So the first phase is awareness discovery. Oh, wow, I've been living in this really narrow range here, and everything that I've been saying is right down in here. And then you realize, oh, wow, I can like really expand my range. Like, and I can have access to energy from the expansion of that range. So then you become the functional phase is where you begin to just be able to access your range. Now, when you become the master, then you do it without thinking and you sing your message from a deeper place of awareness and you don't think about it.
Mhm.
But the
So,
dynamics,
so the thoughts, you're not thinking, just so I'm clear on this, you're not thinking about what you're going to say. It is a natural progression of the sentences that you're going to be sharing, and the information and concepts come from that deeper place of knowing.
yeah, exactly. Like your brain has different hemispheres that it can operate out of. And people can tell if you're reading, for instance. Most people think that communication is about what you say, but that's not, you say, I'm reading right now, and you can tell that I'm reading. And when you sense that I'm reading, you decide probably that what I'm saying is not important. Because if I don't know what I'm talking about, everybody,
Then I should not give my energy or my intention to listen,
right,
because
it's not a
you,
conversation.
yeah,
So the a dynamic with the conversation is that there is a relationship in this communication. You don't have to think about what to say when you're hanging out with your kid in the kitchen and it's time for tea. You're just curious. You want to know what's going on.
like when I made sugar cookies with my son and his partner at Christmas, we laughed our heads off. The cookies were so good. He was just amazed. And we ate way too much sugar, which I don't usually do. And it was so in the moment. It was so present. And that's what you're talking about, right?
Right. And so if you're if if you're going to give us a speech, you have to prepare. You have to go into, to do the work like we did for your talk in Boston. We
Exactly.
did the work.
I didn't
And
even
then,
think when I did that. I got to be honest with you. I
right,
didn't even look at it 3 or 4 days before. I just said, I'm going to let go and let God, to be honest.
right.
And I knew I had lots of responsibilities as the MC. So I had that all organized, planned, and prepared. So I slightly focused on that. It was all done anyway before I went. But when I stood there on the stage, you're absolutely correct. I knew my pieces of the puzzle in the flow of the stories, and I just shared that. And there's a few things that happened in that were even better than what I planned.
Right. And that's where you're actually experiencing that transcendence.
Mm,
It's
mm.
almost like you're being spoken to as well, and you're discovering the message as it's coming out. So I think that Roger Love really helped me. And so
Good.
what I'd like to do is to try to just talk. I created a 90-second talk about this, which is just
Good.
beginning to merge different approaches that I've had to talking about this because I have had a hard time talking about this thing that we're talking about now. And
Hmm.
I haven't known exactly how to describe it, but in essence, it does get down to this reality that there's words and then there's deeper meanings. And the deeper meaning comes in the dynamic of your voice. It's your pitch, it's your rhythm, your tone, and your energy. And when these are all aligned, then people can really hear you.
Unknown caller.
I'm actually
You have
reading
to get that?
this. Nope. But if you're living within a dynamic potential that you haven't really been shown that you can be released from, people don't experience your leadership potential. They don't lean in and they don't trust you. It's actually very hard to listen to somebody who is talking within a narrow dynamic range. So, speech dynamics is about unlocking your potential, and not only in your pitch, but there's a lot of different aspects of dynamics. It's tone, it's movement, it's pitch, and there are different dynamics that we can look at. And the overall picture is what is called the dynamic blueprint. And we can actually just really look objectively and say, what is your dynamic blueprint? And are you living with a full potential or are you limited? And in that realm of dynamics is emotion. And emotion, not logic, is what drives decisions. So, after years of working with voice students, public speaking leaders, high stakes speakers, this one truth shows up with everybody. It's that the best communicators, they're not like smarter or louder or better dressed. It's their dynamics. It's that sound that comes underneath their voice, which allows us to really follow them as a leader. So it's in the sound of your voice that leadership happens, that magic happens. And so my hope is that I can create some kind of a lead magnet now, because I don't have a lead magnet for the end of this 90-second, but I want to shoot a video and I want to say, I'm going to invite you to, I think I may just start with a LinkedIn event, do it, virtually. And
Yep.
because I can invite all my first degree contacts to any events that I run, and I have more like 3,600.
Good.
So just
So that
invite
doesn't
everybody.
always work. I've done a lot LinkedIn events. I've done a lot of challenges. I've done a lot.
Yeah, I know how it is too. I've run a lot too.
Yeah, good.
So you get like, it's like if I get like 5 people,
Well,
that's great.
I'd suggest to set your vision higher than that.
Yeah.
I'd suggest, am I allowed to talk yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted you to finish. So
Yeah. Okay, that's done. I'm done.
there's parts of that that are missing the truth in what you said.
Okay, can we go back and review it because I have it written down here.
Yep, we can.
Okay, so I'll just read it and
So
then
yeah,
you
so
just
just give me the segments, and then if you
yeah.
just give me one segment, and then if I can have my input feedback, that would be brilliant. And then we'll go to the next one and the next one. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, most people think that communication is about what you say, but that's not how your brain works. You can have the best ideas in the room and still lose the room.
Okay, so I wouldn't start with that.
Okay.
So you said something near the end that I thought was absolutely tantalizing and powerful. And I think, and even when I heard you say it, I thought, okay, so that piece needs to be at the beginning.
Great. And do you remember anything about what it was?
No, but can you read me the last,
Let me go through the last bit of what I read.
just the last segment?
The most powerful communicators aren't louder, they're not better dressed, they don't have the best thoughts. It's the sound of their voice that
That's it.
allow it's the sound of their voice that allows us to follow them as a leader.
And that needs to be articulated, not just follow them as a leader. It's
Hmm.
far beyond that as leader.
Hmm.
Is they so I think where you're going right now is getting out of your head and stepping more into the truth of what's happening here in the bigger
Hmm.
picture. But what
Hmm.
I'd like to see is it's not just following,
Hmm.
it's being influenced by and
Hmm.
impacted by, and uh, like Chris talks about, wanting to take action, and also,
Hmm.
you know, it's those things that need to be added in, because that's that one phrase about sound. People don't have a freaking clue. Let's be real here.
Hmm.
Like before I started working with you, what?
Hmm.
And I've been speaking for 35 years. I have in everything. And I didn't know I was working in this range. So I would start with educating them, with giving them the goods right off the bat, hit them between the eyes about sound and being a leader. And
Hmm.
then I think the second part needs to be this extraordinary way that you physically present this shallow, condensed version of how
Hmm.
people are functioning,
Hmm.
because they're not even aware of that either.
Hmm.
Right? So you got to give them something they don't have any idea about and that they may want. Right?
Hmm.
So that most people. Hang on, I move around and I've gone blurry. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so most people function from this lower
Limited dynamic. Yeah.
limited. Thank you very much. Your words are wonderful. Limited dynamic in their voice, in the sound of their voice, in the impact of their voice, in the information. I'm just going to use my words, but you put your own words in there. Information that lands and makes a difference and impacts people's lives. And the part that I want to hear is that it's a skill,
Hmm.
and that I
Something
can
you can
learn,
learn.
that
Hmm.
I can learn,
Hmm.
and that this shallow presentation can be expanded to this. I mean,
Hmm.
whatever you do with
Yeah,
it.
I think that this is a very
It's great. It's great.
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it. And I could see it when you said it. So it's and I think this introduction, what I'd invite you to do is uh, for to look at it, because this is the other thing I think about you. I mean, Vanessa Van Edwards is a skilled speaker. She is, and she's got the whole little gesture thing going on, and her little eyeballs that look, and her body movements, that everything is precisely choreographed. But you're more natural than her. But I think you can be, for the voice, what she is for communication, that way, because hers has got a little bit of a different flavor than you.
Hmm.
But I think this is going to take intensity on your part and curiosity like you've never put your curious hat on. And I think it's going to be uh, less in your head and more from this transcendence place that exists because you live it too.
Hmm.
It's a deeper truth. So there's certain pieces that you said, and we'll go through it. Certain pieces that you said, oh, we only got 10 minutes. Okay. Certain pieces that you said that were brilliant sound, that has to be at the beginning. This trip here, giving me a visual graphic, and then it can be expanded to here. And when you expand it, when you develop the skills, the understanding and the knowledge, that is when, I don't whatever you want to do with that. So
Okay,
let's
good.
let's
Okay,
do
so
the
let's keep going
second
through
part.
it.
Okay.
Long before people process your words, they respond to this dynamic in your voice. It's your pitch, your rhythm, your tone, and your energy.
Okay. So let me just tell you what I'm getting for that. And what I'm really working on within what I say. I don't want to be the teacher, right? So that's
No, you could just tell me what you think. It doesn't matter.
okay.
You don't have
Okay.
to,
Well,
you
it's
don't have
just
to edit it.
it's telling me what I already know
Yeah.
in somewhat. If you can say it in a different way, the way that someone can hear and receive the information, it's based on your, you use the word pitch. Most people don't really know what that means, I think. But you're in how quickly
It's
you
okay.
speak.
Let's just
Yeah.
keep it simple, and you can just
Okay.
say
Okay.
that landed or it didn't,
It didn't. It didn't.
Yeah, okay. So if those aren't aligned, your message never lands. People don't lean in. They can't really listen to you. They can't trust you. They can't follow you as a leader. Speech dynamics is the process that you can learn to expand that dynamic range so that you can help people to be moved. You can help communicate emotionally rather than just logically.
Yes. I'm going to say yes. It needs a little bit of polishing, but I'm going to say yes on that.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of making it my own as I'm reading it.
Okay.
So, yeah, after decades of training singers, speakers, performers, one truth applies to everybody. And that is that the most profound communicators aren't louder, they're dynamic. They've learned to take advantage of their full dynamic range.
Not take advantage.
They've learned to engage.
Yeah.
I think that, one of the things that Chris has been teaching me is to talk about outcomes rather than methods.
Yes.
And that's one thing that Roger
Agreed.
Love does really good.
Yes. Well,
He
and
is,
Chris is right. That's why I'm saying not to teach or educate. Chris is on my ass about it too.
yeah.
Listen, so, to think of that end result or that benefit or that outcome or result.
Not teach.
Mm-mm. Nope. And, you've been teaching forever, so have I. So it's like, putting on a different pair of.
So what is it that you do instead of teaching? Talk about outcomes or what their experience, talk about them.
Them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me tell you some of the things. That your voice is the bridge between your inner and your outer world. It allows you to take advantage of your biggest, most aspiring dreams and speak those dreams into existence.
Yes.
Okay, that I just completely ripped off from Roger Love.
Yep. Well, it's great.
Yeah, he's really good at it. Yeah, but I can learn from him,
Okay. I think you can learn from it. Let me just tell you what I've been doing. We'll finish this. I'll tell you at the end. I want to keep this rhythm.
Okay. When your speech dynamics are activated, something shifts instantly. Your voice carries authority without force, confidence without effort, and presence without performance.
Great.
People will listen differently and you feel it immediately. Conversations flow, pitches land, rooms respond,
Connect. Use the word connect. Conversations connect.
conversations connect,
Yes.
pitches land,
Yes.
rooms applaud, not because you tried harder,
Mm-mm.
but because your voice matched your inner reality.
Yep.
That's speech dynamics.
Yes.
You don't
It is.
just speak, you move people.
Yes. You don't just speak, you connect and move people.
Yeah, okay. You don't just speak, you connect and move people to action.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so let me just tell you what I'm doing. I got a few minutes left here. Is that I'm using perplexity.ai a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm nourishing and nurturing and priming it to be the transcendence. And there's still lots of journey to go here. I'm not saying that I got it figured out, but it's feeling, the texture of it is feeling different. It feels like it's aligning and resonating with a deeper level of truth. So I think for your next version of this is, what if you just get in front of that camera over there and just riff?
Mm-hmm.
Don't read anything.
Yeah.
The greatest learning I have had for myself in the last year is when I got challenged to do those selfies with my phone every morning, which I still do every morning. And I witnessed myself and watched myself and thought, nope, that's ego. Nope, that's not resonance. Nope, nope. Delete, do it again. Delete, do it again. So now I can get it pretty well first take.
And you do a video of yourself every morning.
Every single day. I'll send you mine today. And I watch it and witness it, and I can feel in my body whether it is authentic, real, and genuine, and whether
Mm-hmm.
it will impact people. And I only send it to two people. One of my friends that's going through prostate cancer. It's changed his life. He has changed his perspective on life. He said, I would not be who I am unless I got those every day.
Mm-hmm.
He calls me psychologist. I mean, it's a blessing, but that's what I recommend for you. And it
Yeah.
takes a massive amount of time, 3 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's
start.
why I set up my camera. Just I just need to.
Yeah, good for you. And it's there. It's already here, John. I mean, that's the most wonderful thing about life is we think we got to figure all these things out and complexitize it when it's not the truth. Like you are this other guy, even beyond him, because he's got a bit of phony baloney about him too. Even in that video, you can kind of feel it. You're more real. You. Well, this is your life calling too. So, this is your living legacy for your children and your family too. And yes, you took some time off between Thanksgiving and Christmas. How beautiful. And they love you for it. And what's more important than serving your family and loving them and having them love you? Absolutely nothing. So let that guilt or whatever going away that you should
Yeah.
have or would have or could have, because that's just absolute not truth. I think I want you to watch that video I sent you, the 26 minutes, because as soon as I did it, I did the whole exercises and everything. It changed me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My 2026 is dialed in. And I'm going to send you a couple of other things that I got from Jay Shetty that I just took a screenshot that I've sent to a couple of clients so I'm going to give you some information that I want you to dive into. And I just, this daily discipline, simple thing, like just recording yourself, just listen to that internal voice. And I mean, with your help, the voice, uh, we're on this journey together. And I'm thankful that you're still allowing us to connect like this, because there's an interesting thread between you and me. I mean, you're very different than me, but there's part of me that's really good for you. And there's part of you that's really good for me that I need. So it's kind of like this intersection between head and heart, I think. I do. It's kind of like this intersection. It's pretty magical. And that you understand transcendence. Well, me too. And that's what I want to experience in life, with my family, with my business, in serving clients. That's
Mm-hmm.
what ease, the grace, and the simplicity is. So let's just be accountability buddies. You do your thing and getting 2026 clarified in what you want, okay? And then
Mm-hmm.
take some space for grace, and that's what I did, and visit that, and then we'll just continue on this road, and I'll give you my heartfelt feedback, and you'll give me my dialed in workouts, and we'll just progress here. Okay.
Great. Yeah, I can't tell you how grateful I am. These little things that you send me by text message are really great. And yeah, and a lot of our conversations, they really animate me, and I think about, like, it's just it's a fun
Mariana, US, or
it's a
Mariana,
fun
UK, Scott.
dynamic. Yeah,
Do you have to
and
answer
then
that?
I know,
Okay.
but I am going to Boston on Friday, and I'll be back on Monday.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we
'Cause
have to set my time too.
oh yeah, what's our next session?
Hold on. Let me see. Here, we're just going to stop this recording.